Alright, so we're going to identify and classify angles again today. So this is the second part of this. So the first two terms you need to know are vertical and adjacent. And vertical means across from one another. So angle 1 would be vertical to angle 3. So you notice angle 3 and angle 1, they're across from each other. Now with geometry, the whole shape can rotate. So it doesn't, vertical here doesn't mean up and down. It means across. So angle 4 is across from angle 2. So that makes them also vertical. Now adjacent means that they have to share a side. So if I start with angle 1 is sharing a side with angle 2. Well, angle 1 is also sharing a side with angle 4 there. So angle 1 is adjacent to 2 and to angle 4. So you can have more than one angle you're adjacent to, but you can't have more than one angle that you're vertical to. There's also another property you need to know, going back to vertical, and that's vertical angles are congruent. And the congruent sign looks like this. It's a equal sign with a little wavy part above it. So angle 1 is congruent to angle 3 because they are vertical. So if I said angle 1 was, 98 degrees, oops, degree symbol got a little big there, that would make angle 3 also 98 degrees. Now you could use that to find angle 2 because angle 1 and 2 are adjacent and they're supplementary. So you do 180 minus 98 to get 92 degrees. And since angle 4 and angle 2 are vertical, that would make angle 4 also 92 degrees. Alright, so now I have a couple lines drawn there. And I said angle DFE equals 42 degrees. So this angle right here, DFE equals 42 degrees. So I'm going to put in a 42 degrees there. Now, with that angle, you can find every other measure in this figure. So, angle DFE is adjacent to CFD. So CFD is adjacent to DFE. And you'll notice they have to share a side. So they're sharing FD. So those two letters are in both of those angles. And we always name angles like this with 3 letters. And the letter in the middle has to be the one at the angle part. So at the pointy part of the angle, that has to be your middle letter. So because they're adjacent, they also, if you look, that CFB make a 90 degrees, that means CFE have to make a 90 degrees, so that means they're also complementary. So to find CFD, you just take that 42 that we know and subtract it from 90 because they are complementary. So subtract that, you're going to get 48, so CFD equals 48 degrees. We already know CFB equals 90 degrees because it has that little square there. Now angle BFA, that is vertical to DFE. Because they're vertical, that makes them congruent. So we don't have to work out anything there. We just know that equals 42 degrees based on the property of being vertical. All vertical angles are congruent. Now if you look at angle AFE, that one's a little bit different because it doesn't have a vertical angle. It doesn't have just one vertical angle. You would have to combine BFC and CFD. So this whole angle here would be what's vertical to AFE. So you can solve it by finding what BFD would be. You can also solve it by doing a supplementary angle of AFD. So AFD is is a line, so it would be 180. So, and we know DFE is 42. So we just take the 180 and subtract the 42 from it to get 138. So AFE equals 138 degrees. If we had chose to do BFC plus CFD, we would have done 90 plus 48. You add that up, you get 138. So we got the same answer either way. So it's just in how you see it. If you see them as being supplementary, then subtract 180. If you see the vertical angles and you can add them together, then do that. So it's however you see it. But with just one angle measure, we're able to find the degree measure of every other angle in that figure.